Welcome po. Welcome back, no? Thank you very much for joining me. Welcome to Lira and Law. And salamat po for joining me for our usual Thursday get together between 7:30 and 8:30 p.m. on a Thursday evening, no? Ngayon, the first of May, no? First Thursday of May, and it's a hot day. Oh, so it's if I look like I'm no, I'm if I look like I'm a little bit red because it's ang init, no? It's quite warm today. It's which is great, no? It's for the first time in a few months nga, finally the sun is out. So welcome and thank you again for joining me nga, on the first Thursday of May. Ang pangalan ko po, Lira Simong Kapatbat of Douglas Simon Solicitors. Abogado po ako. I am a solicitor and I have been in practice for, wait for it, 33 years. Wow, 33 years. And my firm, Douglas Simon Solicitors, we are based in London, in Richmond, the end of the district line, no, the green line nga. We have been in practice for 28 years. So 2 more years and we will have hit 2 decades. Ako, lagpas na ako ng 3 decades. I'm 33 years. I tell you what, time has gone so fast. It's astonishing. We have a work experience chap in the office at the moment, and he is, I kid you not, 18 years old. No, I mean, he's very interested in law, very bright guy, but he's 18 years old, and I could not quite believe it. So my office, Douglas Simon Solicitors, has been established 10 years more than he's been alive. I mean, it's time is going so fast. Now, speaking of, I'm wasting your time because we have lots to get through tonight. Ang dami nating questions. And at saka ang ganda. We actually, and I like this, and thank you very much for the star question nga. It's great because it's a follow-up from a question that was asked nga before, and I think it was even a star question nga dati, which means we're going to deal with it in quite a lot more detail. I like this topic. Then it's one of those topics that people ask me and they think it's just a straightforward answer, and it's really not. It's actually one of the more complex areas. Dahil nga ang dami, it's a lots of potential options may be applicable, but at the same time, they're quite restrictive options. So yung titingnan nga natin, which one potentially would be best potentially nga for the viewer. But yung nga, it's one of those scenarios where ang payo ko, you should seek really independent legal advice. Nothing beats a one-to-one, especially kung ganito ang kaso. But anyway, so it's So I hope you can join me throughout, because it's really a very interesting scenario and therefore interesting question. So let me just read to you yung question nga, Let me read to you both the preceding question, and then the previous question, and then the current question. Okay. So ang una yung question that was a week or so back, itong kaso niya, I've been living in the United Kingdom for the past 7 years, sabi niya, My husband, also Filipino, and I got married in the Philippines before we both moved to the United Kingdom. Unfortunately, our relationship has broken down and we've been living separately for over a year now. I've heard that divorce is possible in the UK, but I'm not sure about the process, especially since we were married in the Philippines. If we get divorced here, in the UK, will it be recognized in the Philippines? Also, I'm concerned about what will happen to my visa status if we divorce, as I'm currently on a spouse visa. Will I be able to remain in the UK or will I need to leave? Now, that topic I dealt with in quite a lot of detail, I think that the time before last, So kung gusto nyo malaman kung sinabi ko, go back, We unfortunately we do keep, we keep our previous broadcast to go back to that. But interestingly, our viewers followed up, So sabi niya ito. So let me read to you her follow-up question. This is our star topic nga, star question nga. So sabi niya dito, gusto ko po rin sana mag-apply ng indefinite leave to remain, no? Soon, since matagal na po ako dito sa UK. So, from the previous question, we know she's been in the UK for 7 years, okay? Pero dahil hiwalay na kami ng asawa ko, maapektuhan po ba? Sabi niya, no? May chance pa rin ako mag-qualify for indefinite leave to remain kahit hiwalay na kami at naka-spouse visa ko dati, no? O kailangan ko munang lumipat ba ng ibang visa type? Great question. It's great because it's actually very relevant, no? Marami kong makalayante itong kaso nga nila. Pangalawa po, it brings in quite a lot of things. Hindi nga lang yung visa, of course. Spouse visa nga siya. Variation of leave to remain. What would happen also, of course, there's separation. So lots and lots of this topic brings about lots and lots of issues. So yun ang pag-uusapan po natin nga ngayon. And I'm going to go through as many as it would, as our time limit permits me nga. I'm going to go through the possible options, no, available to our viewer, and as much as I can nga, also provide, you know, practical tips, things to look at. But hindi nga lang yun ang topic natin of course today. We also have some great questions. So we have questions about skilled worker route, no, taking on another job, for example nga. We have questions on visit visa applications, no. So lots of different things also. We even have questions on probate, no, wills and probate. So I'm looking forward to that because I'm rarely asked actually questions on probate. So we're going to also be looking at that. Also an issue that's become perhaps more relevant now than it was a few years ago, no? So ang dami po natin kailangang pag-usapan, and I hope I'll be able to, you know, deal with as much, if not all, nga of the topics, and hope that you'll be able to join me for, you know, throughout nga, and that you enjoy it, no? That's definitely is also the point of doing our broadcast, is, you know, to get together, to enjoy, no, well, I hope you enjoy it, no. I hope that you enjoy the information that I relay, and then hopefully din nakakatulong. Kung hindi sa inyo, maybe others, no. So we're going to take a very quick commercial break dahil nga we have so much to deal with. Saglit nga lang po. I'll be right back. Join me then. Welcome back po to Lira in Law. Welcome back on a Thursday hot evening, the 1st of May. I'm broadcasting live as usual from London, England. Ang pangalan ko po, Lira Simon Kapatpat, and I am your host tonight. No, I hail from my firm, Douglas Simon Solicitors. We are a firm in we've been around for nearly 3 decades in London. Anyway, without further ado, let us launch into our topic. Binasa ko kanina yung question nga ng star question nga natin, our viewer. Ang topic po natin nga ngayon, spouse visa, marriage breakdown, and of course more, no? Now, so titingnan po natin what would happen, options available to you if what had happened, if it happens to you, what had happened to our viewer. So siya, dumating siya dito, nandito siya sa UK, and she now has a spouse visa. Okay? Sabi niya, she's been actually in the UK for 7 years. Now, I'm not really sure why it's 7 years necessarily, but it could be a number of things. It could be na nga dati, she was here on a work visa, for example, or student visa, tapos pinalitan niya. Or it could also be na hindi pa niya natatapos nga yung dati nga yung life in the UK test, no? So it could be that she only got an extension, but in any event, she's been in the United Kingdom for the required 5 years, usually to apply for indefinite leave to remain under the spousal route. Ang problema nga lang, they've separated. Okay, there's no mention at the moment nga of divorce, but nevertheless, they are no longer living together as husband and wife. So ang question nga niya, what happens to me now? What are the options available to me? So titingnan po natin options nga, no, where that is the scenario, what you need to do, no, potentially nga when you make an application. When you make an application and it's if it's refused, are there other options nga? If you make an application and it's granted, what are you going to potentially get, no? So I'll try and pack in as much as I possibly can. Because as I say, it's a very interesting question with lots and lots of issues surrounding it. So, yun ang sitwasyon nga niya. Now, unang yung tingnan natin is, were you subjected to domestic violence? No? It happens, unfortunately. It happens certainly it happens too often, and it should not. No? Now, domestic violence, hindi lang ibig sabihin na ginugulpi kayo. It can be also other things such as coercive behavior. So, hindi kayo ginugulpi, pero hindi kayo pinapalabas, o kaya hindi kayo binibigyan ng pera, hindi kayo pwedeng magtrabaho, so you can't also make your own money. It could be na yung nanay niya, no? Manugang ka, wala siyang sinasabi, yung nanay niya ginugulpi ka, example, no? So that can also constitute as domestic violence, no? So the behavior does not need to come from your partner, but of course you need to be able to show that he's been, he's either encouraged it or at least not doing anything about it. So as with most immigration cases, evidence is crucial, especially siguro, I would say, in relation to the DV, ang tawag DV-ILR, no? Domestic violence indefinite leave to remain. It's actually literally called that in application. Evidence is important, especially in these types of cases. It's not enough to simply say, he subjected me to domestic violence. You need evidence to back up your claim. So, for example, of course, if kung may nangyari, the police came and then he was prosecuted, then that's the strongest evidence you can, of course, put forward, no, to the Home Office as proof that you were indeed subjected to domestic violence. Now, failing that, there are other things that you can submit, of course. Kung may mangyari nga, you should go to your GP immediately because you may need a medical report. Kung ginulpi nga kayo, you have bruises, for example, make sure that the GP takes photographs, and you should also take photographs yourself. You may need to attach that to your statement. You should, of course, in any event, report it to the police, even if they choose not to take action nga. If you have friends nga na tumulong nga sa inyo, again, you may need statements. So lots and lots of things can potentially be put together, no? To then show, to support the fact that you're saying you were subjected to domestic violence. Okay. Now, if you're making an application, there's a fee of £2,885. No IHS, because I'll tell you because of the type of visa you're going to be granted nga. But the fee is quite large, £2,885. No, now wala kang pera. So in this, I see quite a lot of so pinalayas yung kliyente ko. No, ginupi pa, sila pang pinalayas. No, and they were not able to take anything. No? So apart from the clothes that they were wearing. Now, in that case, you can make an application to the Home Office for what's called a fee waiver. Basically, sinasabi mo, you can't afford the fee because of what had happened. So there, they will want to see some evidence. So kung meron kang bank statements, then you provide your bank statements na wala ngang laman, no? You should provide a statement also. And if you get the fee waiver, ibig sabihin you don't need to pay the £2,885, which is obviously quite a lot of money. If you are successful under this application, ang makukuha nyo indefinite leave to remain. Yeah. So that is settlement status. Dire-diretso kayo to settlement status. No? So it's actually that's I'm sure partly why the Home Office make it or make not quite difficult, but make it quite onerous when they want evidence. No. So evidence is king, yeah, because what you will get, as I've said, is indefinite leave to remain. Now, let me mention this because it's a practical issue also, no? Merong mga kalayante, by the time they see me, wala nang visa, tapos na. Some because hindi nila alam na matatapos na, no? Hindi binigay sa kanila ng passport ng asawa nila. Some dahil nagtatago sila, no? Some they've just been so mentally and physically affected by the trauma nga, they just have not been able to bring themselves to making an application nga. If that were to happen, now kahit overstay na nga kayo, if you're making an application under this, as long as you're able to explain, no, reasonably why you delayed, then it could be that you nevertheless still get a visa, indefinite leave to remain, kahit nga expired ng visa nyo. Okay? So it's actually a potentially good visa to have, and you know it takes into account, of course, the fact that you've not been able to make the application because of the treatment nga that you received. Now, kung nagpasok nga kayong application, pero yung application yun na-refuse, maybe because of evidence, and that's certainly what I see. Lack of evidence. There's some evidence, but not enough to reach the threshold in order to succeed under the domestic violence indefinite leave to remain route. No, if that's the case, it could be that they say, okay, we're not convinced with the documents you provided, with the evidence that you provided, that that you would satisfy this route, but because nandito ka na matagal, no, although 7 years is not really long enough as far as the Home Office are concerned, I would say, to launch a strong private life application, you know, the length of time you've been in the United Kingdom. So be careful there, no? Dahil sabi mo kanina, 7 years ka na nga dito. But it could be that they say the circumstances are such that we are prepared to exercise our discretion and actually give you a visa under something else. The under something else usually means under human rights. That is Article 8 normally, which is family life, private life. No? Especially kung meron nga kayong pamilya dito, especially kung may mga bata. No? Now, which brings me then to the next bit. So kung so just to summarize nga, ginugulpi kayo o kahit hindi nga kayo ginugulpi, you being subjected to domestic violence, say in the form of coercive behavior, then potentially you can make an application under the DV-ILR route, domestic violence indefinite leave to remain route. Okay? Let's say that's not applicable to you. Meron kayong mga bata, no? Children in relationship, no? So wala na kayo, pero meron kayong mga anak. Meron kang anak dito, mga anak dito. But you're not living with them. That also happens. Okay? So sabihin natin, magkakasama nga kayong dumating dito, pero sa ginawa ng asawa nyo, hindi na pinapakita yung mga bata sa iyo, pinalayas ka na. Okay? I see that, unfortunately, also. Kung yun, you can still make an application under as a parent, under the parent route. And that also applies, of course, kahit nga kung nakatira yung mga bata sa iyo. So sabihin natin magkakasama nga kayo, spouse visa ka, no? Yung mga bata they have indefinite, or they're born in the UK or born even in the Philippines, but because they're born to a British father, they're British, no? So if they have settlement status, you can still make an application nga under the parent route. Now, and this is why I like our program, yeah, no, because that also links to a question that we had a couple of episodes ago. Sabi niya, pwede ba niyang idugtong yung parent route sa spouse visa to get to the 5 years? The answer is you can't. You can't add the 2.5 years kung mabigyan nga kayong visa under the child as parent route to the spousal route of another 2.5 years to make up the 5 years. But you can add it towards the 10-year route, no? So kung 10 taon under the long residence route, kung 10 taon kailangan yung pakita, so in your case, no, 7 years ka na nga dito, you have 3 more years to go. So if you get another extension na nga ngayon, kung tuloy-tuloy yung visa mo, it could be that you can make an application once you reach nearly 10 years or 10 years nga for indefinite leave to remain on the basis of your long residence in the United Kingdom. So kahit kailangan yung palitan, don't despair. Kung mapalitan nyo nga, it's still a very good visa to have. Well, you can work in the UK, no? Normally, kung yun ang bigyan kayo ng parent visa, that will be for 2.5 years. During that time, you can work. You're not allowed to receive public funds usually nga. And if you get visa under parent route nga, under the 5-year parent route, then after 5 years with that visa, pwede ka na mag-apply for indefinite leave to remain. Now, however, if you get that visa and then you put together, you continuously have been living in the United Kingdom for 10 years, then you can make an application actually under the long residence route, which is the 10-year route. Okay, that is if you have children who are living in the UK with indefinite leave to remain or settlement status na British sila or indeed Irish sila, no? In the UK. Now, sabihin natin meron nga kayong mga anak, but unfortunately, they too do not have a visa. Again, this is something I see fairly regularly. So, nandito yung ama o nanay, no? Pinitisyo yung mga pamilya. So, asawa at mga anak under the age of 18. Dumating sila dito. Tapos, nung nandito na sila, nagka-problema yung relationship nga nila, pinalayas o umalis na yung ama o yung ina, no? Yung Briton, yung may indefinite leave to remain dito. Iniwan yung nanay o tatay at saka mga anak. Yung mga anak, mawawala na din ang visa nila dahil ang visa nila it expires at the same time nga as the parent who entered the United Kingdom. So what happens now? Sabihin natin na paso na din ang visa nila, no? Can you still make an application? The answer is possibly. No? Well, you can. It's a question nga of whether it would be successful. So, kung nandito mga bata, lumaki na sila dito, sabihin natin, they've been in the United Kingdom for 7 years. O dito sila, nung bata nga sila, lumaki sila 7 years, as I say, but they're still under the age of 18. Then you can potentially make an application under what's called EX1, no? Of the immigration rules, no? So yun, kailangan yung pakita that you're in a genuine relationship with a child. Child is under the age of 18, nasa United Kingdom nga sila, have been in the United Kingdom a minimum of 7 years preceding the application nga, kahit hindi sila pinanganak nga dito, no? So all those things you need to be able to show. And if you're able to show them, bibigyan ng visa yung bata at saka kayo, potentially, no? So it would also mean a grant of leave to remain of usually 2.5 years. During that time, pwede kayo magtrabaho, pwede kayo magbiyahe, balik dito. You won't need a new visa to enter the United Kingdom, as long as, of course, you know, that visa is still existing. You should not be reliant on public funds, but otherwise, it's a very, very good visa to have. No? Under that route, usually you would need to be able to show a total of 10 years. So ibig sabihin, 2.5 years times 4. No? Now, so that will be on the basis nga of your, if you like, your relationship with your child, and it would not be in their best interest. That's what the law says. If they were returned to, say, the Philippines. Which is where they initially came from, no? So that's also a possibility kung may mga bata nga. Now, our viewer, she didn't say na may mga bata. I suspect not, no? So she's been in the United Kingdom 7 years nga, walang mga anak. Are there other possibilities apart from, as I say, DV route, the domestic violence route? There's the issue of the children. Other possibilities, employment. Now, spouse visas, is one type of visa that you can swap for employment. No, not all visas can be swapped for employment. So, for example, kung bistro nga kayo dito, you can't swap that for employment. Pero spouse visa, you can. No? So sabihin natin, carer ka dito, nurse ka dito, or something like that. Meron kang, may nag-offer sa'yo ng trabaho nga, sabi na, meron kang COS. COS is Certificate of Sponsorship, nabibigay nga sa'yo. Now, kung makakuha ka noon, normally they give it for, they can give it for I think it's 3 years or 5 years or 2 years and 5 years. But the interesting issue for you is this. Sabi mo, 7 taong ka na nga dito, no? Sabihin natin makakuha ng employment. Mabigyan kang COS. Mabigyan kang 3 years nga COS. Pagka 10 taong ka na dito, you can still then make an application for indefinite leave to remain. Now, of course, kung employment, ibig sabihin you should stick with that employment nga. You're limited as to any additional employment you can undertake, which is actually one of the questions later on. So all those things, of course, limits that type of visa. But at least you're looking at 3 years nga lang. Tapos, you can then potentially make an application for indefinite leave to remain. Dahil by then, tuloy-tuloy kang 10 taon. Okay? So employment is a possibility. Now, I kind of spoke about private life, family life, which is under Article 8. So yun, Human Rights Act. So you can potentially also be considered under that. So kung sabihin ng Home Office, well, there are exceptional circumstances or there are compassionate reasons why they should grant you leave to remain in the United Kingdom under Article 8, private life, family life. Then yeah, you can also get a visa on that basis. Normally, again, there's a visa for 2.5 years. During that time, pwede kang magtrabaho dito, pwede kang lumabas, bumalik nga dito. Normally, there's a restriction on receiving public funds, but otherwise, it's also a possibility under that. So under that, again, you can potentially make an application for indefinite leave to remain under Article 8. No? So there are options potentially. Ang problema nga lang, so going back to our viewer's question, no? Sabi niya, okay, pwede ba siya magpasok ng indefinite leave to remain kahit hiwalay na nga kayo, no? The answer is no. You can't. You can make an application, but it'll be refused, very likely. So the Home Office want to see, it's not a question of divorcing. They want to see that you are in a relationship. So kung hiwalay na nga kayo, then you can't make use, or they will not grant you leave to remain under the spousal route. No? Wala na kayo. Doesn't matter na hindi pa nga kayo divorce. Wala na kayo, then that's the issue. So you need to start looking at options. Okay? Yeah. So I hope that was helpful. I was racing through it, and actually, that's not even that's only half of what I want to say. But I'm just mindful now of the time. So and of course we have other questions nga. So it's and of course the batian, no, must not forget that, because I missed it last week. I hope I hope that you noticed I was not around last week. I was not feeling very well, unfortunately, but today I hope na may bumabati pa rin sa akin, that hindi kayo nagtampo, no? So batian na natin. So let's have a look. Oh, Egay, the great guy from London. Warm, tama ka, Egay, no? Warm Thursday to Attorney Lira and to the viewers. Sabi niya, work in Canary Wharf today. Oh, and taking care of Justin. We're out in the park. Oh, wow. Still good news, Attorney Lira. I'm still tap send ambassador. It's a money remittance to Pilipinas, no? Bonus of £15, sabi niya, for the first-time user. Looking forward to lots of learning again, and Attorney Lira's lovely voice. Egay, the great guy. Egay is a great guy. Tingnan mo, he works full-time, comes home, goes plays in the park with his lovely son, Justin nga, and then still watches. When does the man sleep? No? Miss Paner. I was thinking about you actually kanina, Miss Paner. And I kid you not, no? So sabi po niya dito, hello po, Attorney Lira, at sa lahat Happy Thursday po. Magandang gabi sa ating lahat. We missed you po last Thursday. Oh, it's so nice of you to notice, Miss Paner. No, I tell you, I was really thinking about you today. That I was speaking with a client. So sabi niya sa akin, no, she's been in the United Kingdom now, five years. Then tatandaan niya, in 2000, in about May, no, April, May 2000. That was when we were of course under COVID, and that was when it became quite difficult. No, that there were rules, and then they were changing them, and then there were lots of confusion about traveling, not being able to travel, even sitting in the park and on. And that's really that when I started broadcasting to you all, no, to try and see if I can help a little bit in clarifying out certain things. So, Miss Paner, I was thinking about you, and I thought, oh yeah, Miss Paner and I will have had, would probably in May, no, have our 5th year anniversary. So there you go. Oh, gan ki outcast. Hot Thursday to our attorney Lira. Kamusta po sa lahat? Ay, naku talaga. Pawis na pawis nga ako. I hope you can't see it actually because it's so warm today. I'm not complaining, no. I'm certainly not complaining. It's been a lovely, lovely day. It would be even lovelier if I was like if I'd gone to the park, but no, I was stuck in the office. I was quite busy now today. Quite busy today. So tingnan natin if there are other. Oh, Miss Rafael. Oh, hello, and she's feeling good. All caps, no. Hello, good evening, Attorney Lira, and everyone. Happy Thursday to all. Hi, Miss Rafael. Kamusta po? Are you back? No. Actually, I was also thinking about you because I was reading an article about Wimbledon. You know? And Miss Rafael hails from Wimbledon, the lovely place where the famous tennis, of course, comes is held every year. Actually, yeah, next month, June, di ba? Laging umuulan. I have never been. I tried. I don't always get. I don't. I'm not very lucky with tickets to Wimbledon. I think I probably got maybe 3 times in all this time. I know I've been in the UK now, decades really. I go in every. I apply every year. I've only got it 3 times. Oh, Miss Rafael, watching from San Pedro, Laguna. Wow. Okay, I'm not going to complain in any way na mainit nga dito, Miss Rafael. Ang init po dito ngayon. But you are in the Philippines, so siguro, I can only imagine na talagang mainit sa atin. Laguna's lovely, actually. I have not been to Laguna for a long time. I hope to go soon. It's actually you never know, Mr. Rafael. Baka ma-tiyempohan kita. I'm not going anytime. It's you never know. You never know. No. Oh, Natalia de Guzman. Good evening to all. Another episode full of learning shared done. Aren't you lovely? Oh, yeah. It's no, salamat po. Salamat. No, it's and yun nga maganda nga. Kung, if it interests you, great. If you think that it can help someone else, pasa nyo, no? Oh, Arlene Acerada. Hello, Attorney Lira. Good evening po. Good evening to you and to all viewers. Kamusta, Ms. Acerada? Kamusta po? I hope that you're enjoying the warmth, no? It doesn't come very often, in fairness. And I think this week is the first time. Actually, today is the first time that I went out without a jacket or coat. Because I get cold very easily. I'm teased often. I'm often told, no, it's your Filipino blood. I'm proud of it, but I get really cold quickly. Oh, Aginaya, Eden, Lunag, no, Dokosin. Hello, Miss Lira. How are you? I know you. Yeah, I'm okay. Kamusta ka? Kamusta ka, Mrs.? Are you well? I hope you're well, no? Love your pictures. Sino yung kasama mo dyan? Sino kasama mo? I hope you're enjoying the weather, no? It's quite warm. Oh, Ma'am Cora! Would love Ma'am Cora. No? Hello, our dear Attorney Lira sabi. And everyone, many thanks again for sharing with us this Article 8 on immigration. Miss Ma'am Cora clearly pays attention, no? No, kamusta po, Ma'am Cora? She's lovely. I've had the pleasure also of meeting Ma'am Cora, and she is lovely. She really, really is, no? And she's so nice. At saka sipag, no? Oh, Miss Nadella, Miss Nadella. Hello, attorney. Hello, attorney Lira, sabi niya. Hello, Miss Nadella. Kamusta po? You're in the UK at the moment, eh? I was gonna tease her and say, no, she's always on holiday, but that's not true. Miss Nadella hardly ever goes on holiday, and she should really, no, she should really go on holiday because no, you should enjoy it. I was actually chatting to some clients nga last week, and sabi ko nga sa kanila, no, you should enjoy it dahil lagi tayo nag-aalala na magpadala sa atin, which is no commendable. No, it's great to be able to help others nga, but at the same time, no, importante nga din that you live your life. If that means being able to go on holiday, a bit more regularly, you should do that. You absolutely should enjoy life whilst we have it, and whilst we're able to, you never know, baka magkasakit nga tayo, o kaya somehow something prevents us from going, enjoying ourselves nga. Enjoy life, especially nga ngayon mainit, no? You don't have to go away necessarily, but enjoy it. Says the person who's always in the office. Actually, tomorrow, Biyernes bukas, tapos bank holiday natin, Monday, I think, yeah, bank holiday Monday. So, tomorrow I'm going to make an effort and after work, go to the park. Malapit lang kami, Richmond Park nga dito, where they're free roaming deer. So that is my task tomorrow. So I hope you're going to also enjoy your weekend nga. But before that, hindi pa tayo tapos, no? Now, we have some questions. Actually, we have great questions. Now, tingnan nga natin. So, question, tingnan natin to. Tingnan ko nga to. Ito, okay. Oh, this is a great one. So, sabi po niya, hello po, sabi niya, Pilipino po ako, working as a nurse dito sa UK under skilled worker visa. Okay? So, dati tawag work permit, tapos naging tier 2, ngayon skilled work visa. May tanong lang po ako about switching visa type, sabi niya. Gusto po mag-start ng small business sa side. Online shop lang po, selling Filipino products. Pero nabasa ko po, bawal daw mag-business under skilled worker visa. Totoo po ba yun? No? May legal way po bang para makastart ng business habang employed pa rin ako? O kailangan ko bang mag-switch ng visa type? I appreciate your program po, sabi niya, no? Oh, that's nice. Sana po masagot. Absolutely. Let me have a go. Now, you can work. So let me start by saying that if you wish to work for another employer, no, potentially you can, no, but there are limits nga. So potentially you can work for another employer nga maximum 20 hours per week, which is a lot actually, but part-time, no? But the work must be undertaken outside the normal working hours, covered by your certificate of sponsorship, yung COSMO. So hindi nga pwede na meron kang hindi ka pumapasok, no? Sinisingit mo nga, so hindi ka pumapasok naging part-time sa trabaho mo because you're taking on the other part-time job. Hindi yung pwede. So pero kung 9 to 5 ka, sabihin natin, tapos ang part-time work 6 o'clock, mag-uumpisa ka, for 2-3 hours per day, that would be allowed. But there are other restrictions. Hindi lang yung the hours, no? It must also be the same occupation code, same level nga, no, as the job stated on your sponsorship. So, for example, I'll give you an example. Merong kliyente, carer siya, okay? So, gusto niya magtrabaho for another for an individual nga 20 part-time also sa carer, but walang lisensya nga yung pagtatrabahuhan niya na isa, no? That's okay. So you can take up the part-time job kahit wala nga siyang lisensya, but that must be part-time. Now that would be allowed because she would be working as a carer pa rin, no? Now so for example, so ikaw, no, nurse ka nga. So let's apply to your case. Nurse ka, ang gusto mong gawin, you want to have a business at the side, no? Buying and selling Filipino products. Bawal yun. The other issue you would have is this. That's not, of course, employment even, okay? Because you will then be self-employed. You're working for yourself. So yung nabasa mo, na bawal nga yun, that would be correct. Okay? I'll be very careful also switching it, yung visa mo. Okay, nandito ka, skilled work visa ka. Alam mo naman, kailangan pakita, tuloy-tuloy, 5 taon. No? Pagka 5 taon ka na dito, pwede ka magpasok na indefinite leave to remain. Then you can do whatever you want, no? In the way of employment nga. But so it's a good visa nga to have, because in 5 years' time, you can apply, of course, for indefinite leave to remain. But it's more difficult to change it to anything else that's like nga effectively self-employment. You know, it's not as straightforward. So if you're looking to an investor, mga ganon, that really is not straightforward. So kung ako ikaw, pagtiyagaan mo muna and continue with your skilled worker route. Ingat ka. Kung ako ikaw din, I just would not do not do anything that breaches your immigration condition, because that magiging delikado ka nga lang. Okay? I hope that's helpful. Now, meron pa tayong mga questions. I'm sure. Sandali. Okay. So, sabi po niya to. Hello po, sabi niya. I'm a Filipino student sa UK on a student visa. Gusto pong sana papuntahin dito yung boyfriend ko from the Philippines para mag-tour lang, no? 2 weeks lang po, yeah? Para makabakasyon siya dito, magkasama kami. Oh, that's nice. Hindi po kami kasal, no? At wala pa rin kaming joint account or anything proof of relationship. Oh, no, you're just courting, no? Boyfriend, girlfriend nga lang. May chance po bang ma-approve for tourist visa kahit ganon, no? At okay lang po bang mag-sponsor kahit student lang ako? Now, I like this question. And I'll tell you why, no? Unang-una, no? Sabi mo nga dito, kailangan, pwede bang ikaw mag-sponsor? Now, it's actually, it's not correct, no? To say na pagka-visa, pagpasok mo dito, kailangan ng sponsor. You don't need a sponsor. No? You can make an application for visit visa just to visit. No, you don't need to visit someone. You don't need to be sponsored by someone. You can just because you want to go shopping or you want to have a look at the sites in the United Kingdom. All of those, no. You can apply for visit visa. You do not need a sponsor. But if you have someone that you're looking, what you need is a reason. No. A genuine reason why you're entering the United Kingdom. So yung boyfriend mo, sabihin natin, gusto niya magkita. That, of course, is a genuine reason. It's not really, you don't need to sponsor him. But, of course, ilalagay ka nga niya yung ikaw ang dahilan. That's why he's entering the United Kingdom. Because one of the things na titingnan nga nila is this applicant, no, genuine in his or her intention to enter the United Kingdom. Lalabas pa ba sila kung makakuha sa ng visa dito? So, the fact na nandito ka nga, gusto ka niyang bisitahin, that shows genuineness. It adds to his credibility. No? Hint, tip ko sa iyo, no? Prepare a statement. Sabihin niyo doon, ano bang dahilan? No? It doesn't have to be anything formal. Sabihin niyo nga lang doon, start always with anong pangalan niya, saan siya nakatira, anong ginagawa niya sa atin, nag-aaral ba siya, what year, anong babalik ka nga niya, dumating ka dito, estudyante ka, you have maybe another year, another few months, you simply wish to be together for that time, enjoy the sites, 2 weeks nga lang naman, babalik nga siya. So, make it clear. Now, kailangan niyo din pakita, of course, na may pera kayo, na may pera siya. Meron siyang gagastusin pagka nandito nga siya. At saka meron siyang titiran pagka nandito nga siya. Siguro, I'm imagining that makikitira siya sa'yo. So you just need to also ensure meron kang sulat ganit if you have a landlord, landlady nga, to say, yeah, for the 2 weeks, pwede siyang sumama sa'yo. So you don't necessarily need a sponsor. Or he does not need a sponsor. But what he does need is a reason, a genuine reason why he's entering the United Kingdom. So, lagay nyo nga yun sa statement. Okay? Keep me informed. I hope this is able to come in. No, I like love stories. You know? It'd be nice if you see him. It's young love. It would be nice if you see him. Now, I think we have some more questions. So Okay, so OFW, so overseas worker nga siya, overseas Filipino worker. Ako dito sa UK, sabi niya, namatay po yung tita ko na British citizen. Sabi po niya dati, kasama daw ako sa will niya. Will, no? So wills are the documents that you execute nga to leave money or assets nga to people after your death, no? Paano ko po malalaman kung totoo yun, no? Pwede po bang mag-request ng copy ng will kahit hindi ako immediate family? At kung iniwanan siya, nag-iwan siya ng pera o property, may tax po bang kailangang bayaran? Sana po matulungan niyo ako. Medyo nalilito ako sa probate process dito. Salamat. I rarely get probate questions, but I like this one because again, it's very relevant. It's something nga na a lot of people face actually. So unang-una, it's not like the TV, no? That you have a reading of the will. That's just pure telly. No? You can ask for a copy of the will. So kung meron siyang pamilya nga dito, alam mo kasama nga sila, ask them. No, nothing stopping you from asking them. They can of course say no. No, but if they say no, then you can get a solicitor to simply to ask nga, o kaya you can of course wait until what's called probate is granted. Once you make a probate, once a grant of probate is made, the will becomes a public document, which means makikita mo. Okay, but it's not. But by then, it could be that you say it's too late because the money's have been distributed nga, o kaya it could also be that you want to see it sooner. Because you just want to see, para makakali ka, no? Na you just want to see if indeed you are entitled. And it could also be that there's no probate then because the estate is too small. You have to hit a certain target before probate is needed. Or mga bangko. So mga bangko usually if the money is say £50,000 or more, normally they would ask for probate, which is a document given by the probate registry. They look at the will, if everything is okay, then they grant probate nga. Kung yung tita mo hindi siya gumawa ng will, then intestacy rules will apply. So, for example, kung meron siya may asawa siya dito, it matters na even na hiwalay sila, pero kasal pa rin nga sila, and if there are children, and then the husband, wife, or civil partner keeps the assets, up to 322,000 pounds, okay, and all personal possessions, whatever their value. Okay? Yun. Remainder will then be shared between the husband, spouse, or the spouse nga gets half of the half, and then the other half divided between the surviving children. Now, if she was married but no children, then the spouse receives everything really. Now, unmarried has children and grandchildren, so no spouse. The children will receive proceeds of the entire estate when they turn 18. If more than one, then equally nga. If the child is deceased, grandchildren or great-grandchildren will inherit the parent's share. By the way, adopted and biological children are treated equally in the UK. Unmarried, no children, entire estate goes to relatives, parents. Okay? Walang mga magulang, brothers and sisters. If no siblings, surviving or surviving parents, then grandparents. Grandparents deceased, aunts and uncles, or their children nga. Unmarried, no living relatives, walang-wala. It goes to the crown. It goes to the government, basically. Okay, so yun. So it's if she didn't make a will, no other no immediate family nga, could be that you're one of the ones that would be entitled. But if she has family, ang payo ko is simply ask for a copy of the will, and they have what they should follow, of course, the will. They can't just forget about you, and if you're noted there, then of course you should also receive what's noted there, unless of course there were issues now with the will. Good luck with that. one of those issues nga that is quite it's a difficult topic often. No, good luck. Okay. Now, musta si Egay. Nagpapatanong po ko, Attorney Lesa, do you have an idea about au pair here in the UK? Au pair will help family for a year. Then in return, there's a stipend, I think. Au pair should be less than 30 years old, I think. If yes, what are the minimum requirements? Tama ka, Egay, actually. Au pairs, there's an age limit. I think it's actually less than 30, in fact, no? And yeah, ang mangyari nga, the idea is that they come to the UK, they stay with the family, they get a little bit of allowance, no? And then they go back. It's not a visa that leads to settlement. It's not a work visa as such. But yeah, so that's a possibility, Egay. Right, are you looking for an au pair? No, can't be, right? Oh, Attorney Lira sabi niya, in Richmond Park, can you go to the Isabella Plantation? There are lots of azaleas. Yes, yeah. I tell you what, Egay, one of my favorite places actually in Richmond Park is the Isabella Plantation. Hindi gaano malaki, as you know, no? Hindi gaano malaki, but it's lovely. You go in and it's you have little streams, there's a pond, there's a picnic area. You can even bring your dog in. You just need to keep them on the lead, no? And so it's great. It's kind of enclosed. Yeah, tama. Actually, Eka, that gives me an idea. Bukas, sabi ko nga kanina, no? I'm resolved to try and go to the park, which is Richmond Park in this case, because that's the closest one to me. I'm gonna go there, and I'm gonna check out the flowers, nga, no? And I'll see if I can take photos and post it. And I will say thank you, Egay, for reminding me about the Isabella Plantation. Oh, see Miss Nadella, so excited to go back home again in December. Talaga, Miss Nadella, that's really good. Ikaw, Miss Nadella is one of those people nga. She just doesn't go. She just masipag siya. Too much, really. No, I'm so pleased na uuwi ka uli. No, you deserve it. You deserve it, Mrs. Definitely. No, yeah, and December is great because of course hindi ganong, well, I'm told hindi ganong mainit. No, but also of course, no, Christmas time, ang saya ng Christmas sa atin, no. Now, yeah, so that was that was packed full of information, which I hope you find of help. As I've said nga, no, kung even if you don't find it necessarily applicable to you, pero kung meron kayong mga kaibigan o kamag-anak nga who you think may benefit, no, share it. Sharing is caring, no? So please do share it. So salamat po uli sa inyong lahat, no? Long-time friends and viewers, and of course, no, newcomers, no, you welcome, no. Salamat po din sa Facebook group for allowing us to post our contents on their pages nga, and especially special thanks for those who posted nga their questions. Huwag kayong mahiya, no? Kung nanonood kayo, but you think, oh, I dare not ask the question, or maybe someone else will ask the question. Don't leave it to someone else. Ask the question, and I will try my best, of course. I hope, to be of assistance nga. But as I say, kung a lot of issues would definitely benefit from one-to-one advice. So if you are at all unsure about your legal position, do get see a solicitor. Do a fixed fee interview, and it's that way you can be sure of cost, and then you can get the advice nga din, no? So don't forget, send in your questions by next Wednesday nga, no? And I'll try and deal with them nga. And you never know, no? You may get some serious bragging rights by being the star question. Again, thank you very, very much again to our star question poster, no? Now, it just really leaves me to say salamat po uli sa inyong lahat. I hope that you're going to enjoy the next few sunny days that we have. I hope you particularly enjoy the bank holiday Monday if you are in the United Kingdom. if you're not in the United Kingdom, I hope you nevertheless enjoy the Monday, no? So until next time po, same time, same place, at Lira and Law, thank you very much for joining me. Ingat kayo. Bye.